Welcome back. It's Friday, baby. Welcome to the greatest crypto show on earth. I'm Tom Crown. Good to have you guys here. We are now dawning into March, February, wrapping up the second month of 2024. And needless to say, nobody saw this coming. This is wild. Bitcoin has done things it's never done before, and it's honestly very exciting. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin, what's going on, what's different. Is a major move coming? Well, the answer is almost certainly yes, but we're going to try to figure out which direction. We're also going to take a peek at a lot of great charts, some big moves happening on macro charts that you might not be paying attention to at home, and we're going to tune them in here. So sit back, grab a brew, roll up. It's Friday, boys. Let's jump into the charts. Maybe we'll get some trading going. Sky's the limit. If you could, please smash the likes and subscribes. Help hype up the stream. It does help with the algorithms. Much appreciated. Make sure you're subscribing during the show. We're so close to 100K, but let's get into the content. We're going to jump into the chart in a second. Let's do some real kind of easier to understand stuff first. Bitcoin OTC desks. This is where the 9 ETFs are getting their spot Bitcoin from. Yeah, believe it or not, they're not buying it on Coinbase, especially not on Wednesday's rally when Coinbase went down. Hopefully everyone's balances are reflecting their real balances now. We had a lot of panic there. If that's your first rodeo, Coinbase is going to go down. It goes down on the big pumps. It goes down on the big dumps. It's not unique to Coinbase either. Every crypto exchange can and will run into this problem. Basically, when they have too much activity, 10, 100,000 times more than they typically have in any given minute, their servers crash. There's just no real way around it. Anyway, OTC desks, what we see here is an approximation of the Bitcoin available to be traded in large sums outside of exchange. This is the logical choice for ETFs to pick because it doesn't impact market price directly. Instead of buying it from Coinbase or Binance or whatever, they're buying it from these desks, and it's basically, you can call this peer-to-peer almost. It's like if you bought it from me and I sent it to your wallet, you gave me the money, etc. It's basically like that. It is the go-to for big orders due to slippage or illiquidity. If you're a big old whale, you're probably using OTC desks. But anyway, this is an approximation of how much Bitcoin they hold. Now, I want to tell you guys, you're going to see this thrown around a lot. This metric is not perfect. There's no possible way you could have a perfect metric about this. Simply, it's not possible to know how much Bitcoin there is for sale out there on OTC desks. There just isn't. We can see maybe their wallets, their common wallets, but that's not a total account. So with that said, let's look at it because it still is important and valuable information. OTC desks saw a huge spike back in March of 2020 when we had the panic sell-off. Actually, fun little fact, that was the only pre-halving dump of its kind like that. It's weird how it seems like people got into the rhetoric of this happens every time. Anyway, we saw a huge spike of it, and it looks like OTC desks reached like 16,000 Bitcoin total in their holdings on these addresses. And since then, it's going to be hard to see on the vertical stream, but since then, that has trended down, and we are seeing that in a tight downward channel. Makes total sense. Spot ETFs are gobbling up this supply. Absolutely. More will come as that runs dry. There'll be other people who come in to fill up those OTC desks bags to be able to continue this. But every time that happens, there is less and less available, and the people willing to do this are going to expect a higher and higher premium. And at some point, at least at the trajectory we're at with ETFs completely decimating new miner flows, this is going to run dry. No one really knows what happens once there is nothing on an OTC desk for these ETFs to buy. Nobody. It's pretty easy to speculate that that could lead to unprecedented price moves. If there is no supply and there is demand and these ETFs are obligated to fill that demand, I'm not really sure what happens. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. Will they have to up their bid above market price, etc.? There's a lot of outcomes, but it's hard to imagine it being bearish when supply and demand don't meet. It's hard. It's hard to imagine that being bearish. So I'm keeping an eye on this. I don't really trust it literally. I'm watching more just the trend of it, and it has trended down rather strong. That is a beautiful trend there. It looks like it has reapproached levels from like 2018. Pretty wild. Pretty big on our radar as well as the ETF inflows and outflows. We're not going to spend a ton of time on this because this is all anyone's been talking about, but to go over it very briefly, we have been seeing money, also known as inflows, into these ETFs, and we have seen outflows, mostly from GBTC as people have converted from GBTC to the other cheaper options in the ETFs. And that's probably a huge consideration in why we're seeing such a monstrous rally pre-halving. The buying pressure here is absolutely insane, and it does not, at this point, seem to be slowing down. Let me zoom down here to flows. We have had a total of 2 days, it seems, since these ETFs started with a negative outflow. Negative outflow meaning the conversion or the sale exceeding the inflows or the buying. So some downside selling pressure on the market, but just 2 very small days. The rest of these traded days are massive. We see numbers like $1 billion inflow day, hundreds of millions. This is maybe the most bullish metric that you can find. I would continue following this. And another kind of cool thing here, look at AUM, or assets under management. By the way, this is coinglass.com. Free site, check it out. Great data. Assets under management. This is, to my knowledge, impacted by the price of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down, assets under management, this should go down as well, as the asset is Bitcoin. It doesn't necessarily reflect their total Bitcoin going down, but just the value of their total Bitcoin. And that does line up pretty well here in the 26th of February, 27th, 28th, 29th, and now into March 1st. That AUM has exploded. Guys, to put this in perspective for you, as of yesterday, February 29th, these ETFs held $42.8 billion worth of Bitcoin. 42.8. I believe gold's ETF only has about 60 billion assets under management, and that ETF is 20 years old. Bitcoin, in the course of about a month and a half, has made up that ground, and needless to say, gold bugs are upset. Gold bugs are not really liking this. Let me pull this up. Our favorite gold psycho, I don't even know what to call this guy, our favorite guy to make fun of in crypto, Peter Schiff. Give him a hand, everybody. Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff constantly, angrily tweeting about Bitcoin. It seems to be the only thing on his mind. And you know what? I think that we can actually relate to Peter Schiff on that, because I don't know about you guys, I think about Bitcoin all the time. So does he. It's unfortunate that they're negative thoughts. I hope he finds some peace and some positivity in his life. But go to his Twitter, although, you know, this is all marketing for him. So by me telling you to go to his Twitter, he might be winning. So maybe don't go to his Twitter. Look for screenshots of his Twitter. And just look at his ridiculous posts, guys. This guy was saying at 3,000, I remember the tweet, in 2018, Bitcoin's a bubble, it's going to zero. At 3,000, he's like, people better sell their Bitcoin. That aged incredibly badly. Here we are, 20x up, even more than 20x up from that point, still calling Bitcoin a bubble. We're talking about delusional bearship on the last stream, and this is the king of delusional bearship. In fairness, I really do believe this is just a marketing ploy. Peter Schiff runs a gold, like, mercantile exchange platform type thing. He sells gold, okay? He's accepted Bitcoin as a payment for his gold site for many years. This is, in my opinion, maybe just shitposting. Maybe. Also, I think he's a little bit of a boomer as a mindset, and also probably just angry. Probably angry because his gold hasn't gone anywhere in 20 years, and Bitcoin has, and he's kind of rooted against it the whole way, and he's just wrong the entire time. That kind of makes sense in my opinion. Let's see that. Was there, what else was there here? I want to look through this news quick. I didn't see anything really great. Didn't see anything super important. A bunch of speculative articles about whales buying, selling, I don't know, price predictions. Crypto news has always been really crappy, which is why YouTube can be a great source, especially people who summarize the news every day. Maybe we should start doing that. Maybe someday. It's really crappy, and I feel like it's gotten even worse. It's now just really dumb articles of price predictions, kind of written by people who I don't think have any background even in crypto or trading or anything. And if you read them, it's really just a waste of time. I would speculate most of them are written by AI anyway. What we can get from these headlines, though, is kind of the retail sentiment or what's being telegraphed to retail. And today, everything bullish. We see the word bull already here multiple times on this, just this like refreshing of the news tab here. Market shows greed. Of course it does. We can take a look at the fear and greed index and we'll talk about it quickly, but there's just, let me see. Binance announces new cryptocurrency projects to invest in. That's probably a paid article. ETFs here. This is kind of cool. Bitcoin ETFs now hold nearly 4% of all Bitcoin and they're not slowing down. Spicy. Fun fact, the US government holds $12.5 billion worth of Bitcoin right now. Bet you didn't know that. They don't talk about it often. They certainly didn't buy it. They seized it. But it's interesting. Pay attention. Pay attention to what people do, not what they say. Ethereum leads smart contract. Yeah, these are just nothing. Bullish. Shiba Inu price analysis, XRP price analysis. This is not news, guys. I post this stuff all the time, but it's not news. It's just dubious speculation. Anyway, I don't know if anything else. Oh, one thing. Who here is going to Bitcoin at 24 in Nashville? It's in July. I will be there. I just secured my ticket yesterday, actually. I'll be there. Hope to see a lot of you guys there. I'll get you a link in the future. I don't have it yet. All right. Settling on in. We're about to get to the charts. How you boys feeling today? How you feeling? Peter Schiff is wrecked. Oh, yeah, he's wrecked. He is wrecked, but having said that, there is the next chart we're going to look at. Maybe we'll skip over Bitcoin quick, just to really quickly look at it. Might have a little hopium for him. The U.S. government holds billions in Cheetos. I mean, that's facts. They do. And Tasty Cakes or whatever, Twinkies. I forget. We're going to do the full Bitcoin go over in just a minute. But first, I want to really quickly bring up something that I haven't heard anyone talk about yet. And it is related to the Schiff man, the Schiffster, Michael Schiff. Anyway, gold. Gold had a pretty unspectacular February despite stocks and Bitcoin raging, putting on huge gains. Remember, almost all of the Nvidia's run was in November, to my knowledge. We should probably look at that later, but too many things, too many charts. Gold's right now trading at 2,084, higher than last month's high. In fact, at the moment, if it were to close, of course, March just opened, but if gold were to stay here for the next 28 days, it would be the highest monthly close ever. This is interesting. Everything was moving in February. Gold didn't do much. Now in March, kicking it off with, God, Lord knows, there's only a few hours in March. Kicking it off with some big gains, breaking monthly highs. Gold could be looking for a new all-time high this month. This chart, if we zoom out, is quite a brutal chart, and you can almost taste the salt of Peter Schiff on this chart. Fun reminder, back here, 2004 was gold's ETF, and for the next 2,800 days, gold went up. Then it stopped for the last 10 years. It's been trading sideways, has broken its all-time high in the last year, and I believe the year before, but really struggling to put major ground below it. But at the moment, gold moving back to its all-time high here. Very interesting. This chart saw some pretty extreme capitulation in October of 22. Higher lows and higher highs since. It broke its all-time high in December of 23 at the end of last year. Another higher low in February. It won't take much from a chart perspective to put gold at a new all-time high. Something I'm watching, that previous all-time high is 2150. I have my alert set just above it. Interesting chart to be signaling for the rest of the market, so keep your eyes peeled. We're going to take a peek at the corn now. Is that a cup and handle on gold? I mean, yes, probably. Probably. The cup and handle of nightmares, guys. If you want to call this a cup and handle, which I think is fair even from a chart perspective, this high was in 2011. It is now 2024 for a total of too many days, almost 5,000 days painting this handle. It is up a total of, geez, I think it's like 1-2%. up a total of 8%. And I stand corrected here. 8% over the course of 4,600 days. Yeah, Peter Schiff's anger makes a lot more sense now. Makes a lot more sense. I might be the first one to say it though. Gold, I think gold breaks an all-time high like this month. It's moving up there. It already put in its lower high. It's looking good. Anyway, enough about gold, enough about Schiff. We've given him plenty of free marketing. Time to take a look at the important stuff. We've got Bitcoin. We're going to go over the close and we're going to look into the end of this quarter. March is the end of the first quarter. April, or the halving, on April 20th will mark the second quarter of the year. And we commonly do see price swings from quarter to quarter. So this is going to be important information. But I know you guys are tuned in for other things as well. We've got a lot of good charts on the way. We're definitely going to take a look at Sol. Sol making some significant moves to the upside. Doge pulling some sneakies on us. Moving a little bit past where we were expecting. And we're going to look for the further upside targets. The surprise wild card that isn't in the title today, PEPE. You guys know, I mean, like, I don't hate PEPE any more than anything else. But like, why? PEPE doing ridiculous things, and we're absolutely going to look at that chart. And certainly to wrap it up, we've got Fetch.ai or FET, and that one is looking hella spicy at this point. But let's try to get through some of this first. It's Friday. You guys got things to do. You could be anywhere, but you're here with the Crown family, and for that, I thank you guys. Please don't be shy. Tickle that like button. Caress the subscribe. Help us get to 100,000 before Bitcoin. We're at 95,500. We're getting so close, I can feel it. So here we are. Let's take a look at February's candle here. February closed at about 61.2. 61.2, we'll call it. Coming just shy of the previous highest monthly close in Bitcoin's history in 2021, actually, October of 21. Bitcoin closed at 61.3, and February coming within an earshot. Honestly, guys, I'll admit I was wrong. I was getting a little hyped, but it really looked like February was going to break the all-time high. It really looked like yesterday was going to. This year is a leap year, which is an interesting thing. I don't know how relevant it is, but that gave us 29 days in February. And I don't know, something felt right about it. I thought we maybe would like break it, hit like 69.1, and then come back down into March, kind of cool off the market. But as we zoom in, we'll take closer peeks here. So we are at a very exciting point. Bitcoin has never done this. Real quick, Bitcoin has never in its history done this. We talked about how, well, people think that we see a big dump or a big sell-off pre-halving. That's really only happened in 2020. We have had big wicks, but the wicks in the past halvings before 2020 were really just kind of illiquidity wicks. We saw them commonly. Unlike this March 2020 wick, stands out really on its own. We haven't seen anything else like it. And we haven't seen anything else like it. But here we are. What was I saying? We've never seen anything like this as Bitcoin is approaching. So it didn't break it, it didn't hit it, but it's approaching its all-time high pre-halving. We went through this on a previous stream, maybe last week or maybe earlier in this week, and we saw that Bitcoin has really only been about 50%, I think maybe 40% down from its high pre-halving. This is totally different. I'm always skeptical and worried when I say this time is different because Bitcoin loves to get us to think that, and then it isn't. But right now, in real time, guys, it is different. Bitcoin reached only 5-6% below its all-time high pre-halving. Not even close, not even relatively close. If we look back to the last halving, from 20K to 13.8 or 14K, 35-ish% off the high. This is uncharted. This is uncharted territory. Now, if we did see a big sell-off from here, maybe back down to like 30K at 50% retracement, that might line up a lot better or a lot more with what we've seen. But at this point, we've already locked in and confirmed that this cycle is not the exact same. This has some differences. And it makes me extra bullish. Extra bullish. Actually, you know what? I didn't even plan this, but real quick. Yearly candle also at a high. Not what I was thinking actually it would look like, but yearly candle at a high. Quarterly, here we go, 1 month to go. Highest quarterly close potentially coming in at the end of March above, looks like about 60K. 58.9, 59K. Things are looking pretty good there. These quarterlies are beast. If we look back, though, to the last 3 quarterlies, we did have 2 green candles followed by a red. That might line up with Q2 being slower, being red, maybe more sideways. However, I don't know, man. I don't think it's worth really counting on yet. This price action is starting to look a lot more like into the previous bull run price action. Let's go to the month. Back to the month. Here we are. So just shy of the highest close ever. Man, this is beautiful. There's not really much else here. Maybe we can consult our indicators. I'm going to check LuxAlgo throughout these time frames as well. Our sponsor, LuxAlgo giving us the green bullish candle on February's close here. Not bad, above our resistance. It did give us this into the previous all-time high in 21 as we went to 69,000 and all the way back here in April of 2019. So certainly a welcoming bullish signal. I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. What about RSI? RSI is still lower than previous highs. If we want to be really cookie cutter and say, okay, we're going to look for the exact same thing or for this pattern to repeat, RSI would suggest maybe we can go 85. That's a good bit higher. In fact, that's significantly higher on a monthly RSI. That's potentially a lot of room to the upside, and that's a very speculative kind of target for it rejecting. This is not enough for a real sample size. But just looking into it, money flow in the month continuing up from Marketcipher B, things are looking pretty dandy. Things are looking pretty good. Let's go to this week. Go to the week. We have 2 days and 7 hours as it is Friday to wrap up the week, and then we will start the first week of March on Monday, the 4th. Interesting. LuxAlgo still long, still strong, nothing going on there. Marketcipher B, money flow remains beautiful, momentum up, VWAP still up. Ooh, here it is. I'm sorry, bears. I'm sorry, bears. Bears were really into this bearish divergence on the high thing. Bearish divergence. Really into this. What you see in front of you is the RSI, or Relative Strength Index, on the weekly time frame. And what we can see is 1, 2, 3 higher highs. We did speculate about that. 3 higher highs on the week. And right now, at the highest point in price, we have the highest RSI. For a long time, as Bitcoin made its climb here over the last few weeks, we saw bears pointing this out. Oh, we have a lower high in RSI. Oh, boo-hoo. It's going to go down. That's not really how any of this works. It's not really how any of that works. And as of now, we have a higher high. That bearish divergence is gone. Flip it the middle finger, guys. Is done. Donezo. Good stuff. Good stuff. This month, this weekly. Let's see. 2 days to go. Highest weekly close sitting at 65.5. We haven't touched that yet. Maybe into the weekend if we get some spicy price action. 65.5 might not be a bad target. Might not be a bad target at all. Yeah. Very good. Let's check out a random time frame. Let's do like a 10-day. What do you think? 10-day. Ooh. It's always good to get perspective, everybody. I highly encourage you to check out weird time frames, do analysis on weird time frames, things other people aren't looking at. Flip your chart upside down, anything to get perspective outside of what you usually do. We get really ingrained in what we do every day. We are creatures of habit, but unfortunately, that is not a successful strategy in the crypto market here. 10 days, same thing on RSI. Beautiful. No divergence. Money flow still pretty strong, reflecting the weekly pretty closely. I didn't get any really unique insights here looking at this time frame, but you never know. You just never know. It's worth looking at. Ichimoku Cloud, no issues. Nothing going on there. Actually, really quick back to the month here. Our super exclusive signal on the monthly, very early in February. Bitcoin giving us the Ichimoku upwards cross above the cloud, the strongest bullish signal on the monthly time frame this indicator can even produce. And that led us almost back to the all-time high previous to February. We got this signal in October of 2020, and, well, the rest was history. Price just kept moving up. We went into price exploration. Things got crazy, and then we slowly entered a bear market. But that's a hell of a signal. We pointed this out in the early February. We haven't seen this since October. We got it. Beautiful close. Don't sleep on the Ichimoku. In fact, I should make that our next educational I should make that our next educational video. There's a lot of great free educational resources on this channel. Check them out after the live stream. All right, let's go to the day. We're going to do the day, some low time frames really quick, and then we're going to jump into the alts because I don't want to be here for 4 hours. By the way, guys, love it. Love how many of you joined us for that 4-hour stream. It was wild. We got the robe out. Things were, yeah, it was fun. Good times. More good times to come. More good times are coming, I promise. Bad times are coming too, though. Don't be fooled. This market is never just sunshine and rainbows. It's sunshine and rainbows inside of a hurricane. But that's why we love it. On the day, yesterday, we saw our first candle in the red. It looks like in the last week-ish. Failing to break a new high, but really not retracing in a blow-off top manner. Bulls brought the price from 57K up to 64K. Before yesterday started, a 5.8% downside today. No lower low nor lower high. This looks like it is flagging out. That just looks like a flag. Highs coming down, lows coming up. Potentially, we have an order block being painted. You can see that here from yesterday's open and today's open. If price today on Friday can close above 62.5, we have not only painted an order block of support up here at 62K, we have painted out the 3-candle long setup. Comes from traditional trading. I don't know how successful it is in crypto, but it certainly isn't a bearish setup. And that would just be a bullish engulf here today. That may be the signal that we're looking for 65.5 or that weekly high over this weekend. That would be pretty damn spicy. If not, if we can't break through there, close above today, we may just see some sideways range-bound trade action over the weekend, and that'd be from 61.3 to that 62.5 level. I don't like chop trading, but I know a lot of you do. That's not my jam. That's not my jam. Daily RSI, everything's good. Nothing needs to even be said. Higher highs, prices moving up, RSI highs are moving up. No worries there. Down to Marketcipher B. May actually be looking, this is definitely bullish. We have a higher high on money flow, momentum higher high, but we may be seeing this kind of give up a little bit of this momentum on a daily time frame, which might suggest a little red over this weekend, right? Sitting up here, we are very, very much sitting pretty, though. Not a lot of concern. In fact, yesterday's low wick just barely touching the 236 Fibonacci retracement level, which is essentially where we say, okay, it is in retracement at all. Had it not moved below 60.5 or 60.6, it wouldn't even be retracing. To call it a retracement would be incorrect. So it did bare minimum hit the retracement right there. But looking below, I mean, our 0.5, we look for price to return to the 0.5 every single move. That would only be 57K roughly. From here, a little bit less than a 10% move. Our 618, we like to make a zone between the 0.5 and 618, and we say, almost every move in a market returns to its 0.5 or 618. And I say almost because there is no 100% rule like that. It is literally almost, I would say 80% of the time we see this, maybe 90. It's huge. It's a huge percent. But even then, we're really not in danger. We're just pulling back. We're basically flushing out new longs, baiting in shorts, etc. That would be a very mild pullback. Very mild. Yeah, we're barely even doing anything there. Barely even doing anything. What's going on with that? LuxAlgo, though, I guess on a weak close today, it did give us the bullish signal at 44.2 back in early February. It did give us a TP, these little blue X's. And now potentially giving us the second blue TP. It does not do that often. I think I've seen it do it 3 times once. But that can suggest some weakness in the trend. And I believe it happens when the chart's failing to hit higher highs and wicks are hitting lower highs and getting sold off. But I think a strong close here today might actually remove that blue dot and remove some of that uncertainty from the Lux, from the algo. Kind of cool here, real quick. Ichimoku Cloud lining up pretty well with our retracements from 50.5 to 64.1. We see down here at our 786 or our deep retracement, our KJ, this purple line here, finding or signaling support, which logically makes sense to me looking at this chart. We see our highs from February kind of top out at 53. We have our KJ and our 786. That's a lot of confluence. It doesn't actually increase the likelihood of it moving there, but it does tell us that if price moves to 53.2, that it is likely to find strong support. The TK could be a little bit cleaner, but it is sitting pretty close to that 0.5 level. Both of these confluence for sure on these support potentials. I like that. I like that. Real quick. $12-hour, going faster now because I want to get to these alts. 12-hour range bound, very likely to see 62,970 tested today. We haven't seen February 29th's yesterday, I guess, whatever. Daily open test, that would be kind of a fair value gap sitting there. Likely to have liquidity swept. Let's look at the 6-hour quick. Not looking the strongest. These thin-bodied candles are a little ugly here. I don't really love that. Kind of looks like a weak floating up weak kind of rally-ish move. Uncertainty for Marketcipher B. Money flows remaining positive, but we're not seeing momentum come in. We've seen a lot of momentum earlier. Hopefully down in the low time frames, we'll get a better pick. 4-hour looks decent here. About halfway through the candle. And we are trading above the previous 4-hour open at 61.9. RSI finally coming back down out of overbought. Not what I'd like to see. I really was enjoying this move up here in overbought territory. That is the rally signal. Money flow on the floor, though, looking very strong here at a higher high. View up a little conflicting and momentum. I wouldn't be surprised to see this move up to that just under 63K, maybe in this hour or the next, not hour, 4-hour, maybe in this 4-hour, the next one. And then coming on back down to that 61.3 for that range bound potential sideways trading we talked about this weekend. Going down to the hour. We're almost done, fam. I know. Stick through it. We're almost done. I know. This is too much analysis. You want to see your moon charts. I know. I know. Hourly, all right. No div. Looking, meh. You know, I do see something here, though. I do see something here. Where is this trend line? Do you guys see the trend line? I see it with my special eyes. Where is it? Something like this. I see it. Where is it? Like that? Does that look right? Something like this. Interesting. Let's paint out that flag just to make it pretty. I'm going to finish up with the corn. Give me just 1 second here. I want this to be nice and pretty. I'm going to read the chat. I've been ignoring you guys. Not ignoring you guys. I've been in the zone trying to get through the content so we can get to the fun stuff. Let's go. There we go. A little flag potentially forming. This trend line is very rough. I might have to spend some time to figure out exactly where it is, but my brain is saying, hey man, there's something here. Is it this? This is a really weird placement. I don't usually place them this way. I'll think about it. Down. All right, I'm going to go through really, really quickly on these low time frames. 40-minute looking to roll over a little. 30-minute, same thing. 15 already did. 20 though. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. See if I can place a trade. No gap there. There's no gap that I would love to target. It does look like this, at least, to this 62.5. Let's see. Okay. This would be a really great trading opportunity if we saw this. Potentially looking for a long here. There's a good RR setup from 61.5. Stop below the wick. Ooh, that upside though. That doesn't quite get us to 3, but this would be a nice trade if it comes. I can see that painting out. See a little lagginess like towards the hour. These low time frames have rolled over, but we've been seeing kind of these scoops. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there for today. We're just going to leave that. All right, fam. Let's look at these other cool charts. But first, I want to see what's going on in the chat. I want to see what you guys are feeling. Let's say this first. If you're over on the vertical stream, the phone format, and you're not on a phone, click the link pinned to the top of the chat, guys. We have 2 streams going. One is the computer stream. One is the mobile phone stream. You can be in either one, but I do read the chat from the main one way more often. Just because we have hundreds of viewers there and usually not so many on the vertical. So let me pull this up. Let's see who's here today. Alchemist is here. Odyssey, Bad Baptist, my man. Boots, Brutal, Crypto Stevo, Cryptovations, Doozen. What's up, Crackerjack? Era Random, good to see you, man. Get Dish Nixon. I'm going to figure out what that name means eventually. I saw you, Grumpy Miner. Thanks for subscribing, my friend. If you're out there watching this stream, we've been live on YouTube for 5 years. All we do is try to deliver value. I do not want you guys to copy my trades. I do not want you to just listen to what I say. I want you to learn yourself. I want to teach you to fish. And when I say teach, I mean I just want to be catching fish and you can watch me. Take whatever is valuable, throw everything else away. You're welcome to counter trade me, whatever you want to do. But please just don't think I'm always right. Sometimes I hit hot streaks and it looks like that. I promise there's no such thing as a trader who's never wrong. Nah, no such thing. But yeah, new people, join the crew. And also make sure you jump in the Discord if you're new. I see Bread Pitt, one of my favorite names on YouTube. Derek Merrill, what's up, brother? You're joining us over there from Facebook. D Johnny 55, my guy. How are you? David Gleffend. Jennifer Moffat. How you doing, Jen? Camu, KG, Kyle, Lion in My Pocket, MV, Macyge Coulterman, Major Benefits, Matt Kinsella, Moggy, my wonderful, beautiful Moggy, Mighty, Minimalist, Minimalist, Vagabonds, Myco Dogs, Nate, Quantum Divergence, good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you around that much. It's okay to take a break, but we miss you. What's up, Paul Wood, Peter Gideon, Randy, how you doing, Randy? Both Randys. Roof Monkey, Skip Factor, Salva Ukraine, I don't want to pronounce that one. No. You always got to worry, people trying to make you say something weird. Not Meme, what's up, bruh? What's up, bruh? Skip Factor, did I get that one? Sniper Paul, Spoda B, Taxo, man, these are rough. These are rough names for Friday. Taxo Perry, Ephedria, Day Trading Doge, what's up, bruh? Pickle, the Video Kingdom, False Flags is here. Tillin McPooch, Tim Boat, Tom G, Tony, VZ Fat Cat, joining us again. XMMGX, Zeus, Monkey, and I'm sure I missed some people. I see Archer, Bonjaman, Clay T the Great, good name. Bullish Bradley, Coffeeholic, Crypto Friend, Frank, what's up, Frank? I think I got almost everyone. IMT, Jogo, Crypto Junkie. I did the best I could. If I missed you, I apologize. But let me pull up the chat here. What are you guys looking at today? I don't know what you're looking at, but we've got some charts. Can you lagon? I don't know what that means. Say your name, Udo W. What's up, Udo? Good to have you, man. INJ, I think I actually did get an alert for INJ. Let's see my alerts log. What do we got here? What have we got over on the alerts logaroon? We've got PEPE. We're going to be looking at PEPE. Litecoin, my baby, finally making some moves. AGIX, XRP, Rose, MSTR, Mana, FET, INJ, you're right. HBAR, ADA, Render. And that's about it. But I did have almost all of my alerts wiped when the subscription thing. So I don't have my thumb on the pulse quite as tightly as usual. Quite. What's up, John Dude? Yo. Name all 600 viewers. If you have fans, name all 600 of your fans. Doge breaking out. Yes, it is. We're going to look at Doge in just a minute. GRT Gala. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of posts on Reddit about GRT. Makes me wonder. Planet on Bybit. Woods Planet. Phil. AI Doge, just saying. Maybe we'll look at that for you. Sharknado. GBTC Outflows. You know, I've been using CoinGlass, and they had an outflows metric here. I don't know what they did with it. It was here, and now it just shows net flow, not outflow. I want outflow. Flows? Just flows. I'm trying, man. It used to have see here it says total spot. It says total spot ETF net flows. This right here on this page used to be GBTC flows. Now it's total spot, so I don't know what to do. If you guys have a good resource for that, welcome to throw it in the Discord, ping me, I'll take a peek. Seriously, who the F is MR100? I don't know what that is. Jasmy, what's that? Jasmy bonk. THETA definitely ripping. Link, AVAX. Bread Pit says AVAX is going to break out today. Is it now? Render price target. We'll take a look in a minute. Let's see. It's a live THETA, right? I know, guys. THETA. You know, I was one of the OG streamers on THETA. We had issues on YouTube. I went over to THETA. It was a good platform. It's a good platform, but like every other kind of crypto video platform, it just doesn't have the traffic. And that's kind of just like YouTube has a monopoly on video traffic. If there's no traffic, creating content there is not usually worth the time. But it was a great experience. It was. That it was. I have a good story about it too. I made maybe like $80 in ad revenue over the course of like a few months, but it was in T-Fuel. And then once they paid it out in T-Fuel went to 50 cents and I sold it, and it ended up making like 15 grand or something. It was like an $80 payment that turned into like 15,000. It was a good experience. So I have only good things to say about THETA's platform. We'll take a look at the chart though. Crow did give me an alert. Absolutely. Just tell you when to short King D. I just went over how I don't want you to just follow me blindly or do what I say. You gotta do these yourselves, man. Gotta do these yourselves. Giving a man a fish in crypto is just a great way for them to be set up to lose. It's weird. It is weird. If I were to give everyone some great trading signal and they all made money, then they would come back and they would be convinced that that's always going to happen. And at some point, it's not going to work out. People will keep doubling down till they lose everything. Anyway, get on about that. Tezos. I never looked at PHB. I don't even know what it is. What is PHB? Have you looked at Sol yet? No. We are going to look at Sol, Doge, FET, and PEPE. I got them pulled up. I got Render pulled up. What else do you guys want to see? I have, that'll be next. I have good news though. While we're shooting the shit here, I have good news. Everyone's worried about housing prices in the US and they're astronomical. Understandable, because they are. Good news though. Housing prices have crashed and only have ever crashed against Bitcoin over the last 15 years. This is the chart I whipped up for you guys. This is the US housing price index divided by the price of Bitcoin. So the value over here on the y-axis is not relevant. It doesn't matter. It's just showing you change. Housing has dropped. The housing price index has fallen 100% against Bitcoin since 2010, 2009. And I think that means houses are free now. So I want a free house. Thank you. Send me it in the mail, government. There you are. Pretty cool chart. Pretty cool chart. If people doubt Bitcoin, whatever, that's fine. Everybody learns at their own pace. They'll get there. But if you look at anything versus Bitcoin on a chart, it doesn't matter what it is. It looks like this. The chart will look just like this. Doesn't matter. Could be against dollar versus Bitcoin. It can be Bitcoin versus the S&P 500. It could be Bitcoin versus gold. They all look almost exactly the same. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They're great charts to just kind of, I don't know, boost up your morale when you're feeling down. So let's go into the Solana first. Should we do Solana first? Put a 1 in chat if you want Solana first. Put a 2 in chat if you want Doge first. Let's see if we can get a split vote. If you live in the city or the boons, yeah, true. True. I live in the boons, son. I live out in the middle of nowhere. Farmland. Farmy farms. The farm. Live on like a bajillion-year-old farm. We got 1s, we got 2s, we got 3s. I don't know what 3 stands for, but a 3 wins. Please go. Stop waiting. You go. You go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Screw it. I'm just gonna leave these here. No, I'm not, because that's gonna bother me. Got a little too much OCD sometimes for charts. Sometimes charts just, they get me, man. All right, we'll do Sol first. I saw the most ones. I really wanted 3 to win because I don't know what that would have meant. Anyway, let's recap Sol here quickly. Sol was painting the most beautiful pattern ever. It was almost too good to be true. This is the little doodle here. Basically, we can see on the daily time frame there was a beautiful inverse head and shoulders painting out here on Sol since it looks like late December, with the neckline being established at about $100. It's not too good to be true. Invert this chart and you'll see it was true and it was good. That is a beautiful that's a beautiful head and shoulders. Anyway, we got the final piece. So we had all of the pieces. We had our left shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder, and people think, oh, then that's it. It's over. No, we need one more piece. The piece of that puzzle was the back test of the neckline. We got the back test in late February. It looks like February 24th. I got to get some of this stuff back on. Yeah, I don't want to lose that doodle. That doodle's beautiful. It's a beautiful doodle. But we're going to take it off of some time frames. There we go. There we go. There it is. There it is. Okay. Same difference. Here we are. Backtest of 100. Sol reached back to $120. And I did remove them because I don't want this stream to be about, told you so. Told you so. Anyway, but sometimes it is. We put these trades live on the stream. There's a 20%, like kind of 20% bangers there. Just playing that pattern, easy peasy. Oh my goodness, I'm having trouble navigating here. All right, so Sol today touched $137. This is the long-awaited resistance. In fact, I was really confused why Sol didn't hit this back in December on its rally up to 126. I don't know, man. It's weird. $137 may seem random, but it is not a random point on the Sol chart. Wait a minute. Did this move? What the F? Okay. Comes from the weekly time frame, but is very close to the daily or to the monthly time frame. I'm going to scooch this in from April and May's high here. And we also found support on it in October, even into January of 22, October 21, January 22, $137. And we have identified this whole area as the range of macro resistance for Solana. From, what was it? Right about here, I don't know, like 75. I think we called it 100 to 137, whatever. This is basically the final frontier, the final boss for Solana. It's very exciting that it moved up again. And looking at this chart, it does to me look like it wants to retest its all-time high. What's exciting about that is the all-time high is $275. Price is only at 132. That's a 2x. But is that reasonable for the short term? Well, crypto isn't always reasonable. It's not always reasonable. It looks like it at the moment. It definitely looks like it's reaching for it at the moment. On the month, little order block of support behind us. There it is. It was 122. Yeah, right here. 122 to 137. Anyway, from the monthly, you see there's very little here. Potentially, there's a little bit of resistance, like 210, and then at your all-time high. But that's not a lot. It's already done the heavy lifting here. This is my opinion. After painting the inverse head and shoulders, right here, breaking through the high of December and touching 137, Solana is now likely, oh, look at that. Almost. That's an older trade. Almost. Tapping it. Solana is likely to continue higher. 210 would probably be the next upside target for profit taking. However, after tapping that monthly, especially if the rest of the market sees a little bit of retracing into March, there may be an entry at 121. 121, the top previous resistance that we just broke through. We may be testing that as support, SR flip. That may offer a better entry. Going long at 137 here is not something I would do personally. I think that is really high risk. I think it's really high risk long in the top of that candle. But this chart looks good, man. If you're in Sol, I've had doubts about Sol along the way, but man, this has done some serious stuff. It's pretty wild. I have some Sol, but it's just not a meaningful amount. I'm thinking we see a retest of the all-time high, if not break it this year. I think that's obviously dependent on the rest of the market conditions, etc. Look at this chart, man. That is something. That is something. Yeah, it's pretty clear. Let's see at the weekly close. Weekly says you might get a shot at 112. I think 120 is the move. What do you guys think? If you're bullish on Sol, put a 1. Put a 1 in the chart. All-time high. Do I think Sol will go to 1,000? You guys want moon math? So I will caution you. I do like doing moon math. Moon math is based on the exact same process and analysis every time. I am not saying buy it, it's going to this level. But what I can say is this method has worked really well for price discovery into bull markets. Really well. All we do is we take our Fibonacci extension and retracement tool. We connect it from our all-time high to our bear market low. And in Sol's case, that's 267 down to $8. And then what we do is we look at our extensions. Our 1618 for Sol, it's sitting at $2,300. That's pretty crazy. That's a 10x, 15x. That might be too much. That might be too high. But this is what we do with all of them. And it's had a really good success rate. Certainly not 100%, but I'll be damned. This thing works. Here's the caveat. Sol has to break its all-time high. It has to break 267 before this extension is valid at all. This extension is irrelevant until the all-time high is broken. Why is that? Well, Sol in theory could go much lower before it breaks the all-time high, and now you have a new extension. That's like kind of the 2-cent explanation. Our 1618 sits at 2,300 and our measured move target at 9,000. God, that just seems absurd. But in crypto, absurd things do happen. Sol could see a $2,000 mark. It could see $9,000 mark. I don't know if I believe the 9,000, but those are the same analyses, and we'll see these as we go on through charts today. This exact process being rather accurate. So is this one real? What do you guys think? It's the Fibonacci. Like the stream, that's right. Like the stream and subscribe. Music, no music today. Guys, I played all that copyrighted music on the 4.5 hour stream, and I had a nightmare with YouTube. Like, I had to go through and manually like remove pieces and audio and video. It was ridiculous. So we're going to take a little break from that. I don't want to have to deal with that today. It's Friday, boys. It's Friday. So is Sol moving to 2,300? Possibly. Targets I would look out for, though, 500 and 1,000. Even if it is going up that high, very likely you see some kind of play at these psychological values. I think the takeaway from this is if you have Sol, especially spot in a long-term held position, maybe you set some limit order sells if you want to take profit at the all-time high, 267, at 500, at 1,000, and then again, maybe at 2K, right? We love the layering of the spot limit orders here. If you are worried about Coinbase going down, it doesn't matter if you have your orders set in limit orders already. And these are the prices I would put them at. In fact, I'll probably do that sometime soon. I don't think I've set them for Sol because it isn't a huge position. There you go. There's the Sol system. I don't know. Get off the unit bias. Consider market cap. Absolutely, Sergio. Absolutely. Absolutely. The 15x or even more, the like 9,000. That's was in my head. I was like, man, that market cap will be bonkers. But crypto's done crazier things, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely done crazier things. I want to read the chat a little bit more. I'm trying to sandwich it in between charts. What do you guys want to see next? Should we do FET or Doge? FET or Doge? Doge or FET? Put 1 in chat for Doge, 2 in chat for FET, and 3 in chat to skip them and go to PEPE first. Put them in. Let me see. Spam it up. I found that spamming, even though it's annoying, actually helps the algorithm. I'm testing it. It seemed to have worked the other day. Ones, twos, ones. Twos, threes, twos. 1 is not winning. 1 is not winning, guys. If you want Fed up first, you got to put them 1s in there. 4 has entered the chat. 2 for the show. 3 to get ready. 4 to go. I don't even know what won. I don't even know who won. I don't know what number. What do you guys think? 1 was Doge? Yeah, I guess. That was confusing. Here's the good news, though. Either way, we're going to look at all of them. We're going to look at all of them. Poll. Yeah, let's do that. Here's what we'll do. I'm sorry. I'm gonna rug you guys on this. I'm going to rug you on it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at FET first because FET's made the craziest move. Wait, and then we'll do a vote. What chart? And it's fitting because it'll be what chart next? Doge. And then PEPE because they're kind of like meme-ish. There you go. We'll do that. Let's try it that way. Vote in the poll as well. Doge is making moves. FET. We're going to look at FET. Then we're going to look at either Doge or PEPE, and then we'll watch the other one. FET has been just doing awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Looking at this chart for the first time in a long time, maybe 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I was kind of baffled. I was like, this is potentially one of the craziest charts that I've seen in crypto. And what really catches my eye is there just isn't much else that looks like this. We've kind of had this topic of crypto charts tend to fall into maybe one of like 10 different kind of general patterns that they're in. Some of them, like a lot of new coins are in the general pattern of price discovery at the upside right now. A lot of the older coins are in the same kind of general pattern, like Litecoin and XRP. Their highs have been coming down, their lows have been coming up. They're making giant flags over the course of years. And FET just doesn't really fall into any of them. It's kind of weird. This just caught my eye. It was odd. 420 likes to be at 420 likes, boys. Oh my. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate. Let's get rid of some of this. This just didn't look like anything else. And in a very bullish way. I was looking for 119, but it seems 119 is not enough for FET. Not enough for Fetch.ai. Here's the thing that kind of sucks here. We don't have much to go on now. This is really all of the information we have. All of FET's trading has been under $1.19, except for, I believe this was a few minutes in a single day where FET moved from, Lord knows, 78 cents to $36. I still don't know. Does anyone in the chat know what this is? Like what this wick is? What happened there? It's an extremely bearish wick. But usually I think that this is just not right data or a really like single really illiquid exchange traded that or fat fingered. Usually I don't use it in charting. But at this point, if we don't use that in charting, FET's in price discovery. So I'm not sure which to do. It's kind of a situation we don't run into often. Let's see this wick. Yeah, this is the wick. This is why I say I don't know if we should use it. Like, look at this. This isn't a 4-hour candle. $2,600%. They cured cancer, apparently. Apparently they cured cancer, but then they forgot about it. They cured it, and then the next day they lost it. They went on a boating trip and they lost it in an accident. I don't know. AI market, they won a Grammy. I don't know, man. Who knows? Usually though, 99 out of 100 times, this wick is not real. It's like maybe on one exchange. But this one, I think it's on others. I'm not going to look on others right now. I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. So what do? We don't have a lot to go on. We can say, well, we'll have to just accept the wick is real. I'm going to use it in our analysis. And that's kind of what I've done. Kind of. And if we do that, then we do have something to go on. And that's the problem is if we don't use it, then we don't have anything to go on. This wick keeps moving. Do you guys see that? It keeps moving. I really don't trust this wick. Did you see that? Now it's at 25. What is happening? Why does this keep moving? That's just odd. Trading View, whoever makes these charts, maybe they're drunk. I don't know, man. It was a sun flare. All right, it was a sun flare. Fair enough. So let's use this wick. And I'm just going to leave it where it was because I don't know what's going on with that. It seems to be different every time. On the week, it's at 25. Let's see. On the day, it seems to be at 25 again. All right, I guess it's now just 25. I swear to God, it was like 35 last time we looked at it. Getting weird. All right, so we'll use that wick. Using that wick, what can we do? We really can just say, all right, well, we, for the most part, are in price discovery, coming off of a beautiful flat-topped ascending low pattern. That gives us the bullish signal. Where do we go next? Well, right here, $2.88. It's our 618 retracement. From our wick high to the low afterwards. We could do that. That's like all we really can do there. We can say, all right, 288. We can also then do what we just did with Sol in the moon targets and say, okay, well, we do have psychological values, like $5. That's on the way. That's not a bad profit-taking target. These don't tend to be market tops very often, but they do tend to be points where price retraces or takes a break as some profit-taking comes in. So if we saw a break of 280, might be looking to take profit at 5 and re-enter at 280, something like that. Your major support, which is where I will probably buy FET, whether it's soon or, I don't know, forever from now, $1.20. I don't want it now at $1.20, but if we see this move up back towards those all-time highs and come back down to $1.20, I think there's a play to be made. That could be years from now, or it could be tomorrow. Who knows? Outside of that, we don't want much. We can use our Fibonacci extensions, which is a logical thing to do here, but those don't get us that far. They don't get us that far, and they don't really line up with much. They don't really line up with anything. Little confluence actually here at the 3 extension and the 4 extension, where that all-time high was. 2 is at like 280. I'd say this is good. This is probably good profit taken. I can see a move like this happen. I can see this rally continue, maybe as high as 280, but maybe, I don't know, 230 actually looks good. I can see this coming just shy of that 119, something like that. There's not a lot else to do. This wick kind of janks up the chart. If it wasn't there, I would say this chart is looking crazy bullish. Crazy bullish. I mean, it still is. Actually, one little experimental thing. I'm going to try to pull this fib, not using the wick, and just using the relative high there. Let's get rid of some of this because I have to put out like a epilepsy warning if we don't. All right, do it this way. I like that as well. 1618 is at 850. 850. I'm going to say that. Let's look for 850. Maybe something like this. 850. I can see it hitting 850 this year. I can see that. No guarantee, of course, but there's not a lot else to do with it. I want to do more with the FET chart. I do. We placed long potentials down here at 80 cents. They didn't fill. That's okay. Better to miss the boat. 119. So this is it, I guess. The valuable piece of information I can share is if you're feeling FOMO over this chart right now and you're like, I want to put all my money in it this second because I don't have control over my emotions and I'm excited, I'll take a deep breath. Take a deep breath first. But if you're feeling that, it's at $1.71. The odds of being able to enter at 120 are pretty good. They're pretty good. I think that that's a better trade, at least to wait, have a little patience, see if you can pull back to what is the kind of only real high on this chart, in my opinion. Test that resistance as support and move higher. If 80 cents came, this trade would still be pretty legit. I like the risk to reward on it. But there ain't much else. Let's see, anything? Money flow looks good in the day. I don't see it stopping yet. Maybe LuxAlgo has got a little treasure for us. Wow, look at how many indicators LuxAlgo has. Back testing system, that's new. Screener, that's new. I'm gonna have to make videos for these. Signals and overlays. Down there, still looking good. Little reluctance there on the Lux on the 4. Wow. Up and to the right, fam. Up and to the right. Send it. I'm just going to say that FET's in price discovery, even though I know it's not. It just like is. I have to figure out what this wick is. Let's say next upside target 288. Looking for support at $1.19. There you go. All right, let's see the vote. Doge won the vote. I'm going to close the vote. Well done. We're going to look at PEPE anyway. Let's take a peek at Doge. I have been a little skeptical about Doge, mostly because this chart was looking incredibly bad for an incredibly long amount of time, more so than others. Your highs were coming down and support continuously was hammered at 6.1 cents. 6.1. Doge seemed really reluctant to break any highs here. It was not a great sign. In early December, Doge finally put in its first higher high of any kind in a very long time. That was a good starter. This was a good signal that perhaps this pattern wasn't playing out. Put in a higher high at 10 cents. Sure, 10 cents. Doge now sitting at 13.27. In the last stream, we were looking for 12.69, and I said, all right, I want to see what happens there. Let's see what happens at 12.69. Well, I was a little too skeptical again. Perhaps I should stop doubting the Doge. We'll see. Perhaps. Let me get rid of these two. One sec. I love the trade positions. I like having them up, but they're just so, they cover everything else up. So hard to see. There it is. There it is. Doge now approaching 15 cents. This is the high in October. And this would really be the kind of like the macro move. This would signal the higher high, and this would signal, in my opinion, at least a move back to your 618. This is really where we're looking. Now that Doge has confirmed another higher high in its macro, it may run into problems at 15, but right now, I'm looking up here and 25 cents. This is where it's going. Not financial advice. Not financial advice, but they're just going to 25 cents, guys. I want to see it break last month's high. It's right underneath it, fractions of a penny right now. That could happen today. But this chart is very logical. On the run up to 69.75 cents. Trapping buyers coming back down. We saw like 6 months of distribution right at this level. These are monthly candles. They're significant. Distribution for like 6-8 months. You fell inefficiently. You have a little order block here on the month, and that is right about where price is right now. Inefficiency down. You have a nice efficient base below you. I think this liquidity gets swept up here. This is the boss, man. This is the boss battle for Doge. Doge needs to break through this 20-25 cent zone. Breaking through that zone, to me, will prove that it's going back to its all-time high and almost certainly going higher. This is going to be massive resistance. Massive. So many people FOMO'd into Doge on the way up. So many people continued FOMOing, just in hindsight to learn that the top is already in, as we all do. But continued FOMOing. Just so much retail is trapped at this price, and it's unfortunate because it's like 25 cents. It's a psychological value. If you were trapped in Doge and your average was anywhere from, I don't know, like 25 to 76 cents, if you were a retail noob, didn't know nothing, you'd probably try to get out at 25 cents again. In reality, you probably already sold. Realistically, you already sold. But this chart, this is so locked. It's so loaded. So loaded. So locked and loaded. Let's see. A little bit of resistance here. If we see March's high or February's high break here in March in the next whatever amount of days, Doge is likely to move to 20 cents very quickly. This would be a nice move. Potentially giving us an entry right around where price is right now. 13.8. That'd be nice. But we may see something else like this. I have very strong confidence Doge will spend some time under 25, but I'm also very confident it will test it this year. Doge is looking good. It's looking good finally. It's looking real good finally. Slowly but steadily. Go down to the day quick here. See what we got. See what we got. Reaching up to February's high, looking strong on the approach. Money flow rolling over into the positive. RSI reaching up higher. Removing fears of bearish divergence. I like it. It's just a weird chart. It's kind of just a wonky chart, man. Like this looked so bad. And then boop. SR flip, boop, moved up. And on top of that, 25 cents right there at the 618, the golden retracement, golden pocket, golden ratio, whatever you want to call it. It's looking awesome. It's looking schwawesome. I would set an alert just above your November high at 16-ish cents. If that breaks, start looking at the chart. It's getting spicy. Getting real spicy. How much sub gift you to chart? INJR woo. Well, bro, let me just get through the stuff we have. We only have PEPE. PEPE and Render are the only ones I said I wanted to look at. We should have looked at PEPE earlier because PEPE is very realistically testing its all-time high. Very realistically right now. Actually, I want to go down to the day, which you don't usually have to do. Wow. Spent one day, one single day. Holy shit. One single day right here. Yesterday had its first red candle, I think all week. Already above that high. Painting the order block that you love to see. Just cementing support there. Signaling support. It's at 31.7. However many zeros, I don't know. I don't know how many zeros. Currently looking to close its highest daily candle ever on PEPE. It's trading at 402. Its highest daily close 374, 375. Right about here. At this point, it is about 10% off its all-time high. What's kind of cool, I guess not. Nah. Well, this is cool actually. Flip the chart upside down, and all of a sudden, this is less of a puzzle, I feel. Right shoulder, head. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Left and right is hard. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. One would expect a backtest of the neckline. At this point, that would be a very, very far drop, over 50%. Doesn't always happen. In fact, I almost always call for it. I don't even think I'm going to call for it. I want to see what happens at its all-time high. It's looking like it's going to happen in March. It's already put on significant ground since February, all of a few hours ago. Is what it is, man. We got to get the moon math out because it's that time. Holy moly. Moon math time. Let's see the right shoulder as well. Nothing on that. All right. Well, using the same analysis that we used for Sol to get our silly, not even silly, just our upside targets. Looking at PEPE, if PEPE breaks its all-time high right now, it breaks its all-time high without going lower than its bear market bottom, which is, in my opinion, really unlikely right now. Let's look. From price, currently that'd be a 300% gain. Remember, none of this is relevant until the all-time high breaks. None of it. From current price to our 1618 extension at 1574, price currently at 400, 300% gain. Our measured move target, we've seen these hit kind of like peak bull cycles previously. 745%, that's huge. That's massive. I don't know. Guys, if you think PEPE is going to break its all-time high this month, put a 1 in chat. Put just a 1. I want to know. Do people think it's going to break? Look at this chart, though. It's hard to argue otherwise. I don't know what else you'd argue, man. How do I set the extensions for the fibs? Fran, I do have a fib video. It's actually in the description of this live stream. There's how to trade support and resistance, how to trade fib, how to trade fair value gaps, how to trade order blocks. I don't know, there's probably other ones I forget. All right, we got enough ones. Good. Check it out. But here you go. 2-second take, guys. Just double click your fib. Place a fib anywhere. It can be placed wrong. Double click it. You don't have to have 3 and 4 on. I don't usually. There you go. 1618 and 2. That's it. Done. There they are. Here are those are my personal Tom Crown settings. This is how I have it. Also, real fun, quick note. If you use a logarithmic chart, which you should, in my opinion, in crypto, make sure you scroll down your fib retracement. At the very bottom is a sneaky little box that says fibs based on log scale. If you're using a log scale, click that button. If you're not, don't click that button. Looks like people are going to think it's going to break all-time high. I don't disagree. I do not disagree, friends. I don't want it. I want Bitcoin to break its all-time high. I don't really care about PEPE doing it, but damn, just damn. It's so close. It's less than 10% away right now. Everything else taking a little breather. PEPE marching on up. Render. I'm going to look at render quick. I don't know how many million charts we're going to do today, guys. We did 4.5 hours of charts last stream. I don't know. Render already broke its all-time high. It's a little odd, not out of the norm completely, but I'll say a little unsettling that we haven't seen it make a big move. It seems that there are lots of profit takers or heavy resistance sitting at that previous all-time high. None of those trades filled. However, this chart has really not given anyone any entry. These highs continue to move up. It continues to blast higher. And though it hasn't broken the all-time high yet, or no, it has broken the all-time high, but it hasn't gone anywhere really yet. It also hasn't sold off. Typically, when you smash into heavy resistance, you see this at an all-time high. Seems to be hanging out here, trading sideways. Not the worst thing to happen, in my opinion, in crypto. Not the worst thing. We do have moon targets. I'll tell you the moon targets in just a tick. If render does fall, if it fails to break its all-time high and rejects, I don't really see anything great here. Our retracements don't look very confluency. We do have a monthly order block just under $5. Might not be a bad target to look for from here. Screw you, trading view. $5. We do have previous resistance. It was support in 22, resistance in May of 23. Double bottom on this monthly brought us higher. This $3 range, I would probably be looking for $5 or $3 for entry if we see rejection here. We have not, but if we did, I was trying to look lower. That's where I'd look. But since we broke our all-time high, we can use our tool. With high probability, when coins break their all-time high and enter price discovery, they no longer have resistance above them. And very commonly, our Fibonacci extension tool can guide us to some profit-taking targets. I like to combine them with these psychological values. $25 and $50 are on the way up, but our 1618 target for render sits at $63.41. 63 US dollars for a 682% gain. It's already broken the all-time high. Probability, in my observation, would say it's likely to make its march towards this target. It's a 700% gain, which is very large. Our measured move, 2,800%, up to $228. That might be some hopiums, but hopiums is good. We have seen these hit. This seems crazy, but we've seen even crazier ones actually make these moves. It's not something I would go all in on based on, oh, that fib extension says this. It's not something I would even make a position based on. But what I would do is if I was in a position, if I had spot, I would look to take some profit at those targets. If I was in a leveraged position and somehow I was still open, I'd probably look to close them at probably the 1618 if it hits. Or even at $25. That'd be a crazy gain. Render looks good. It looks good. Little weak bearish divergence on your high at the all-time high on the day, not the end of the world. Money flow is still looking strong on the week and the day. RSI looks good on the week. I don't see any issues. I don't see any issues there, man. Bonk Inu has to be satire. It probably is. Dogecoin is pumping. We just looked at it. Oh, it's pumping right now. It went up even more. It heard us talking about it and it said 13.8. Think I will. Think I will. Oh, it's good. What is up with all the e-news? Let me see what's trending. Maybe this will explain it. Trending. Why do I never know what any of these trending coins are? Bodo, OPSEC, Unibrate. How are these trending? Does that mean like one human Googled them and now it's trending? Like, no, that one I don't know either. I mean, PEPE. Okay, yeah, PEPE. Yeah, that makes sense. Magic Square I've seen here. Dog with hat. I have heard of on Twitter. I don't think I've ever charted it. What is it? Nah, I never charted it. Good day for Chiles. Theta. Yeah. Theta. Theta, beta, cheta, leta. Yeah. See ya. Theta. Let's see, I got old data charts. Oh, data charts. There we go. We looked at this pretty recently. Theta made a great move to the upside. $2.94 starts our point of efficiency. And at this point, I feel like a broken record explaining these. We have seen almost every single crypto chart move up, break its macro low bear market resistance, and make a move into its efficiency. For Theta, that's $3 to 420. Blaze it. Blaze it. Last month, February, hit as high as 231. Nothing's happened yet in this day on March. We have this drawn here because instead of, I think we were looking at it above $2. And I think I was cautioning, instead of entering at $2, there's a good possibility. There's a realistic possibility for a trade to be made on Theta at a much better price. Much better price. Something like this. Boom. 3.6 to 1. $1.32. This isn't a head and shoulders. I mean, maybe you could argue it's an inverse head and shoulders. But no matter what, it is the macro resistance, right? It was your horizontal that kept price down and kept rejecting price lower until the bulls were able to hold a higher low, which we began the momentum to the upside. I think a trader taking a position at 134 is slick. However, you very well may be moving to that $3 zone first. These targets have just been hidden left and right. Like, these monthly efficiencies have played out so freaking closely. Yeah, look at the day. The day is very telling. Right here, this is all efficient price action. Lots of movement up and down. It's not just one direction. It's like a vibrating line. Then you look over here into April, May, virtually just straight down. Very little up and down movement, just down. When price moves into these inefficient areas, it tends to move very quickly through them. And when it does, it tends to move to the point of closest efficiency. Easy peasy. $2.94. Good target. Good target. I think it hits. If it rejects from here into this month and we see selling off, $1.34 is on the table, I probably will take this trade. Honestly, I like this trade. I like that. From the neckline. Theta's looking good. Theta's looking good. It's got to get above 420. This is a little concerning. A lot of efficiency, at least more than other charts, higher, closer to the all-time high. That makes me a little uncomfortable. I look back at Bitcoin. Bitcoin ignoring my doodle. I'm ignoring it. Let me real quick take a peek. Are we gonna get a Friday rally? A little Friday rally. Weekend pimp. A weekend pamp. Maybe. I was thinking we get a little turnaround here mid intraday and then move to 62.5, but even that turnaround is not a huge move. About 1%. 1% move. Not very exciting. I think it's still going to happen though. I think it's still going to happen. Let me see. We got a bunch of subscribers. I don't have my headphones on today, so I haven't heard any of the alerts or anything. Sorry, guys. I see Dreaded1 has subscribed. Welcome, Dreaded1. Badass name. Mark Luis Gonzalez subscribed. Welcome. What's up, Mark? BYRMV. My guy joining the Crown Crew. Good to have you. Mike Termani. JJ. Justin Look. 0 Fs. Also subscribed. CBC subscribed. Let's keep up that hype if you're out there watching. We've been doing this on YouTube for 5 years. Almost. In June, 5 years. We'll be doing it for 5 more. Join our fam. Our goal is to help you succeed. That's it. I just want you guys to succeed in crypto. Simple as that. Simple as that. Sheb Jones with the 20. What's up with Milady? I don't know. Wasn't that a rug? Wasn't Milady a scam? Is it? I don't even think it's a chart, is it? Milad. Should make another one called Milad. Milady. Only for you, Shep. Yikes. It looks kind of ruggy. Dropped 90% in the first month. It's making a decent climb, though. I'll give it that. It's making a decent climb. Little order block behind it. Still below its high, though. Higher low. I mean, that looks not bad at all. I wouldn't buy this coin because all I can remember was something about rug about it. But that's actually not bad from a chart perspective. You got resistance, higher lows. You have a lower high, but bulls defended it. So now what do you need to do? You just have to come back to that high. That's it. You just got to get high. Get high. That's it. Get A. Yeah. Yeah. What went on with this? I have weird, like, negative memories of it. Doesn't look bad. I'm certainly not touching it. But this, we've seen worse stuff. This is not the worst looking kind of chart going on. You have relatively flat top. You've tested it. You keep holding your lows. I think that there's a trade here. There's a trade here, but the stop loss is going to be important. And unfortunately, when you have stuff with low liquidity, I assume the liquidity on this is garbage. Stop losses won't really work. That's the risk. You think stop losses are guaranteed, not you, Shep, but people think, oh, if I put it here, I can't lose more money than that. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. Your stop loss fills as a market order. So if there's no market order, I don't know, 50% lower than where your stop loss is set, that's where you're stop lossing. Be careful. Low liquidity is a silent killer, man. Silent killer. Lots of subscribers coming in. What's up, G-dubs? It's past the 618. I mean, I could see this realistically going back to its all-time high. Moon math it. Shep, you know moon math is not to be FOMO'd over. Could see something like this. I don't even want to put the 2. The 2 is too dangerous. Something like that. I don't know. You could see that. Here's your extensions. Looks all right. I mean, back to the all-time high is a nice 57%. To our really closest local extensions, like 271. These aren't even as big as some of the other gains that we've looked at potentially today. 1618, 600, 1700 at the 2. Yeah. I wouldn't touch this thing. I don't know, guys. Who in here knows what this is? Who in here is, you don't even have to be an expert, but I promise you're more of an expert than I am. All I can remember is like, wasn't it a rug or something? That's the thing, I guess, with rugs, we can chart them and still rugs can follow charts. But the more centralized the supply of a project is, the more vulnerable to complete manipulation it is, to completely being controlled by one source or entity. So be careful. Be careful. I definitely would not be touching this myself. If you see a test of the all-time high, that'd be cool. This would be even cooler. Get another higher low on the month. Slowly work your way up. I don't know, man. Good luck. Thanks for the 20, Shep. I appreciate you, bro. You the man. You the man. You know who else is the man, though? Sahil Khan. Subscribed, and he's the man. Along with Thomas, Games, and more. What a handsome name. What a handsome name, Thomas. Anglo Blackson. Blackson with an X. Interesting. Good to have all the new subscribers here on what I assume is a sleepy Friday. Maybe it's not. Is it a sleepy Friday? What is it? Are people hyping? Let's see. Got 700-ish, 800-ish viewers on the live. That's better than we've been doing. I guess we've got some new viewers. New people are back in the space, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I was wondering where everybody was at the last month, but slowly but surely they trickle back in, following the breadcrumb trail of shitcoins. AGIX. Well, look, let me open up AGIX. I always do this. I'm like, I'm not going to stream for 10 hours. And then I'm like, well, one more chart. One more chart. Just one more. Just 10 more charts. There we go. AGIX. Dollar was our target a while ago. Nice psychological value. I'm going to turn this white. There we go. Nice psychological value. Nice profit-taking target. But our 1618 says 33% higher, $1.33. AGIX last month broke its all-time high of 59 cents and entered price discovery. This is what I was thinking Render was going to do. Render's hit it and kind of just dicking around. I don't know. This is the typical price discovery chart, though. You see big candle through the all-time high and follow through. It's already moved higher this month. That's a good sign. In fact, there's some alpha. Anything that's made a higher high versus February, meaning in the last like 12, 18 hours, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. AGIX broke its all-time high on this weekly candle, already back tested it. That's going to give us a new fib extension. But it is also going to have skunked us out of more positions. Oh. Well, that's like a near miss. Son of a B. Within 0.0005 cents. Near miss on that. Oh well. You've already back tested it. That's a great start for a move to continue. We got a new extension up here. Doesn't lead us to much. It says $1 or $1.25. Not so exciting. Not so exciting on that low time frame. Looking at daily RSI, this is a pretty sick setup. First things I notice, higher highs. Higher highs on the chart, good. No bearish divergence. Second thing I notice, RSI, incredibly overheated, obviously. That makes sense. RSI came back down to the overbought line. A bounce here is a super bully signal. Super bully. There's no name for this, I don't think, but I should come up with one. It's like the opposite of swing rejection. Bouncing off that RSI, staying overbought, showing it is still trending bullishly. I like it. And right back to the all-time high. Here's a great example. Like maybe I should like frame this one. Like frame this chart. Great example. We see coins run really hard. They break their all-time high. They start moving. People buy in considerably higher. The all-time high was 60 cents. People were buying this all the way up to 86 cents. It doesn't happen 100% of the time, but I'd rather miss the boat on those and look for charts that do this. They break their all-time high. This retraced 31%, almost exactly back to the all-time high within a fraction of a penny. It bounced and hasn't moved higher. Like that is a clean setup. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. $1 is locked and loaded in my opinion. I think $1.25, $1.35 is probably the real target. Probably the real target over there. What a chart, guys. What a chart. Blasting off AGIX. I don't know if I own any AGIX. Crap. Let's see. PEPE is up 224% this week. AXL entered the top 100. Dang, the top 100 is $1 billion now. Wild. Chili's is at 16 cents. It doesn't look too bad. I'm not really going to chart it though. I'll pull it up. Chili's, the graph. I'll pull up the graph. All right, close enough. Old chart. I haven't really looked at it, I think, in quite a few months. Chili's trading at 15, but is this exciting yet? That's kind of exciting. Chili looks pretty clear to 23, 25 cents. You've passed your, I'd say, major monthly resistance really was 10 cents. Double bottom on the month, traded lower, rejected there in a monthly candle, closed directly below it. Now you've been moving up. Chili's at 25. Give me 25 cents on Chills. Looks good. Looks pretty darn good. Yeah, 25 cents. There's one more graph. GRT. I want to take a peek at the GERT. GERT. Dot. Well, this is supposed to be a GRT chart. I didn't plan on looking at Dot, but guys that have been around for the last few weeks, Dot was one of these examples. Matic is another one. There's plenty more out there on the monthly time frame. This would be, and I can't obviously guarantee Dot, but in general, this setup is what I'm looking for. Almost every coin that we've seen run really hard has had this setup and did this. Dot closed bullish engulf, painted that 3 candle long setup on the month right here. Close a little higher. Signaling is looking for that move to the upside. I like it. I like it, but this is not supposed to be a dot chart. Let's see. Can I get it back? There we go. That was easy. Nice. Sometimes that isn't so easy. GRT. So there you go. Was just looking at dot, saying this is looking for this. There's an example. Dot or GRT blew up last month. Dot closed above, so I'm hoping it follows in other charts like Matic that look like it. There's many, but there it is. GRT moving up, already broken February's high. Excellent, excellent progress, suggesting the rally is not over. This was never filled. Boo. Never filled. This one was. These take up so much space, so much visual space. Back. GRT moving up to its efficiency on the chart, and that looks like, yep, 37 cents as high as 46.5, something like that, up in this range. We also have our Fibonacci extension, 1618 right there, 46, 47. I think that's the good target. I think that's a beautiful take profit. That's a beautiful take profit. Looking for an entry or re-entry, 23.6 cents, that previous high that was broken, potentially a strong one. But I think it's moving up. You have your inefficiency here. You broke. This is all pretty clear of resistance. This whole area, pretty clear of resistance until you get up here. That looks good. That looks awesome. Good. Bitcoin saying F you to your doodle. I'm going higher sooner, higher for longer. That's going to be me after this live stream. They've been talking about the economy being higher for longer. I'll show them. I'll show them. Earlier in the stream, we talked about price moving up to 62.5 potentially tomorrow, back down to the bottom of the range. The close above 62.5 gives us our 3 candle long setup and an order block, and is suggestive of continuation. Continuation, be looking at 65.5, the highest weekly close, or 69K, the all-time high. You know what? This is a really good full circle right here. Really quick before I do this, make sure you've subscribed and smash the like. Hey, JJ. What's up, dude? Pedro Serra subscribed. Leo Lebrun. William Suzuki. Lots of good names. Lots of good new people here. If you're new, joining us, jump in the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. It's free. Full of goodies. Full of value. This full circles it pretty well. Closing today above 62.5, and I'm looking for a rally into the weekend. Closing below, I think we see some sideways range chop price action into Monday. Either way, nothing bad is really happening here. It is being a little bit more bully than I expected. I was thinking we would see a pullback during the live. Does not seem to be the case here. Moving on up to that 62.5 early. Nice. Nice. I think this resolves to the upside. I think we see the all-time high tested. I don't know if it breaks pre-halving, but we're not too far away. The very low time frame price action going on right now, definitely getting me leaning towards more upside this weekend, but time will tell. It's Friday. It's Friday. Love every single one of you that tuned in today, guys. It's Friday. I'm going to go stay higher for longer. But I'll be in the Discord today. I'll be playing some Helldivers. Not in the Discord, but I'll be chatting, updating the chart. If we see Bitcoin bust a move, I already have the stream set up and loaded to go. So thank you for joining me. I love you all individually, each one of you. You're my favorite.